The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, Breakout Investing, with your host, Ken Shreve.
Hey everyone, how you doing? Ken Shreve here. Welcome to another edition of Breakout Investing on TFNN. 81 degrees and sunny here in Southern California. Hope you're having a great day where you are and enjoying some nice weather like we are out here in Los Angeles. Thanks very much for tuning in today. I'll be here for the next 55 minutes or so. If you want to give me a call, talk about this strong up day for the market today after some recent weakness, go ahead and do that. The number is 877-927-6648. My show airs 2 days a week on TFNN, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern. If you can't listen live, the show is available as a podcast on iTunes. And don't forget, you can listen to all TFNN programming on your smartphone. Just type in tfnn.mobi. tfnn.mobi in your smartphone browser, and you can listen to the stream very easily that way. If you want to look at charts that I'm going to be going over on my show today, if you want to look at them live, go to tfnn.com, Tiger TV on the homepage. Channel 1, the show is carried live, and the show is archived on Channel 13. And you can also watch Tiger TV on your smartphone now, Android device, iPhone, whatever you have. You can tune into Tiger TV with your smartphone and get a good, nice picture there as well. All right, let's take a look at the markets here. Indices holding near session highs. During the recent selling, the NASDAQ 100, which we'll start by looking at, you'll see that it actually, let me just give a quick update here. It may go off the screen, but we'll go ahead and grab it. Again, NASDAQ 100 right now is up 2.2% today to 2728. You can see it came down to its 50-day moving average yesterday, stopped just short. Definitely distribution in the NASDAQ 100 over the past several days. It is showing supporting action at its 50-day simple moving average. It looks like the volume in the market today, I'm not sure about the NASDAQ 100, but at least the NASDAQ Composite and the NYSE volume looks like it's going to be right now anyway a little bit lighter than what we saw on Monday. So big gains for the broad market today. As usual, not much conviction behind the buying. So, we're still in a market that's under some distribution here, but definitely a bullish day for stocks. I mean, you've got big percentage gains, disappointing volume, but some good action underneath the surface after some pretty ugly action yesterday. So, good day so far for the NASDAQ 100, up 2.2%, trying to find support initially at its 50-day moving average. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ Composite, see where that's at with about 50 minutes left to go in Tuesday's session. The NASDAQ Composite also trying to firm up at its 50-day moving average. It's up about 2.1% to 3,049. And finally, let's check on the S&P 500. S&P 500 also kind of bouncing around its 50-day moving average. It is trading back above the support level, lagging a little bit today, up 1.6% to 1391. And again, volume right now looks to be about 5% lower than what we saw yesterday. On the New York Stock Exchange, volume yesterday was slightly below average at 730 million shares. Looks like we could come in slightly below that level today. NASDAQ volume on Monday also below average at just over 1.5 billion shares. So it is possible. I mean, there's some people saying, well, there's just not much juice behind the buying today, so we could see some selling. We'll see how that plays out over the next 45 minutes or so. But it's also possible that we could see a wave of buyers come in late, and who knows, volume could end up coming in higher than Monday. And if that happens, you know what? At least for the Dow and the S&P 500, you could have a follow-through day. Still too early to say, but you could have a follow-through day on the fourth day of a rally attempt for the S&P 500. You can see here was the first day of a rally attempt right here on April 11th. day 2, day 3, day 4. Actually, it would be on the fifth day. So follow-through days serve as confirmation of new market uptrends. But at this point, it's still way too early to call that, because right now volume again is looking lighter than Monday. But all in all, a pretty good day for the market. I don't normally look at the Dow that much, but since we have some earnings from Dow components coming up after the close, let's take a look and see how the Dow is doing. It's having a pretty good day too, up 1.5% to 13,113. It is also 5 days into a rally attempt that started on April 11th last week. Again, day 1 right here. You go 2, 3, 4, 5, and so we'll see what the Dow looks like at the close. A lot of components acting well in the Dow today. Let's start by taking a look at Coca-Cola. Pretty good earnings from the beverage company. Coke is a single-digit earnings grower. Earnings at Coke this time around were up 3% from a year ago to 89 cents a share. Sales up 6% to $11.1 billion. Good day for the stock, though, up 2.4% to $74.17. Pretty close to a swing point, actually, of 74.39 right here. So will Coke have enough to break out over this 74.39 swing point? Volume is strong in the stock today, so we'll see how Coke trades over the next few sessions. But great day for the stock today. Let's also look in the Dow. Take a look at American Express. This is another pretty positive technical setup here. We've been talking about the distribution that's been in the market. A lot of selling pressure in the NASDAQ 100. Weak action overall. Looked like the market was pulling in really from the highs. When you talk about the NASDAQ Composite, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, the pullback up to this point off of recent highs has been about 4.5% to 5%. So pretty tame up to this point. That could be it. That could be it. We'll have to see how things play out. At this point, just important to look for some follow-through in the major averages to confirm a new uptrend. But staying inside the Dow here, American Express, a very positive technical setup. Stock's lagging a little bit today, up 42 cents, 0.7% to 58.25. But American Express also flirting with a swing point here of 59.26. So another positive technical setup here. Take a look at Bank of America inside the Dow. And Bank of America, you can see, is firming up at its 50-day moving average, up 1.3% today to $8.90. And a couple of other stocks in the Dow that look interesting here. Here's a look at DuPont, ticker DD. Also a good chart here, good technical setup. DuPont is up 1.4% to 53.46. You're looking at a swing point of 53.95 for DuPont. Disney also doing well today, and IBM. Let's take a look at IBM because it's reporting earnings after the close today, along with Dow component Intel. So two high-profile tech earnings after the close today. Shares of IBM up 2% to 206.80 ahead of the results, and it again is not a chart that is showing serious signs of technical damage here. And in fact, despite the distribution that we've seen, despite the institutional selling that's been seen in the market in recent days, when you look at the number of technical breakdowns that are out there, stocks that have suffered heavy volume declines, breaking key support levels, they're really few and far between. In my estimation, the number of bullish charts out there still has the upper hand decidedly over the number of bearish charts. That doesn't mean that I'm moving in from the sidelines with a big cash position and putting money to work left and right, but I'm also open to the possibility that the market could start rallying again here, especially if a busy week of earnings this week, earnings after the close today, what we see Wednesday, Thursday, etc. If we do see a preponderance of better than expected earnings reports and good outlooks, that could be the juice this market needs. So a lot of good action among Dow components today. Let's check in on Apple, a stock that really looked like it was in trouble. no doubt about it. It got hit hard this week, was working on a 5-session losing streak headed into today. The stock hit an intraday low of 571.91, only 10 points from its 50-day moving average. But it is rally mode in spades today. Pretty decent volume. You can see the volume during its recent declines headed before today. A lot of distribution in Apple, a lot of profit taking. Some people saying that Apple, may have a disappointing quarter in store. I don't think that's the case as much as it is just profit taking after a huge run up for the stock. Some institutions probably repositioning and content to take big profits in Apple. So Apple up 4.7% today to 607.31. Its earnings report is due later this month, late April. So good day for Apple. And Priceline also bouncing back. I cut Priceline loose from my Ultimate Growth Stocks model portfolio after its second heavier volume decline last week. I don't regret doing it at all. Nothing wrong with taking some money off the table in a market that is under distribution, but shares of Priceline bouncing back with several other NASDAQ 100 names. Priceline up not as much as Apple, but still up 2.2%, mostly in line with the market to $717.15. So NASDAQ 100 firms bouncing back. Economic data today, pretty quiet week of economic data. Earlier today we had housing starts and building permits. Starts were very disappointing. They fell sharply to 654,000 units. That was well below expectations of a slight increase to 700,000 units. The good news is that building permits rose more than expected to 747,000. The estimate was for 710,000. So that is, by my estimation, at least the second month in a row where building permits have come in much higher than expected. And a couple of ancillary plays, a couple of stocks that you would think would benefit from positive building permit data. Let's take a look at shares of lumber liquidators. Take a look at shares of lumber liquidators today. The stock is outperforming pretty big, actually, up 6.6% today to $25.52. This is a well-run company. Looks poised to break out here over a swing point that was set back in March, but very good technical setup here for lumber liquidators. They operate flooring stores across the U.S. In fact, let's take a look at this is a daily chart. Let's take a look at a weekly chart for lumber liquidators. I'll find it here. I always use daily and weekly charts, and you can see that the weekly chart shows that lumber liquidators has been in rally mode, has come up nicely with the market since the December lows, and still has a little bit of resistance to work through, but it is a stock showing decent signs of accumulation. So lumber liquidators acting well, and then a stock that I'm currently long in my Ultimate Growth Stocks model portfolio, Beacon Roofing Supply, distributes roofing materials related supplies, up 2.3% today to $26.15. Stick with me, folks. We'll be right back. Breakout Investing on TFNN.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments. And whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at directionshares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks, to Breakout Investing on TFNN. Ken Shreve with you. Breakout Investing airs every Tuesday and Thursday on TFNN from 3 to 4 Eastern. And again, if you want to call me, let me know how you're doing in this market. You want to talk about the current market, what you should be doing here. The number to use to get through is 877-927-6648. So, mentioned Lumber Liquidators, ticker LL on the New York Stock Exchange, and also Beacon Roofing Supply, a distributor of roofing and related building materials, 2 stocks that should benefit from 2 straight months of better than expected readings on building permits. Both stocks performing nicely today, and as I mentioned before going into break, I am long shares of Beacon Roofing Supply for my Ultimate Growth Stocks model portfolio, and I am still holding several names despite an unsettled market. But several names are outperforming nicely today, which I would expect growth stocks to do in an up market. But if you want to check out a 30-day free trial to Ultimate Growth Stocks, you can do that right on the homepage of TFNN.com. Just click on the newsletters tab and then investment newsletters, and you'll see information there. And you can also just go to kenshreve.com, which links you to my information page over at TFNN. Click the green banner and sign up for a 30-day free trial that way as well. Coming up later in the week on Thursday, some more economic data. But like I said, pretty quiet week in terms of economic data. On Thursday, we'll see weekly jobless claims, existing home sales for March, as well as the latest reading from the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Survey. What is moving the market today? Well, we had a nice growth forecast, worldwide growth forecast from the IMF. Pretty good corporate earnings. We also had a interest rate cut by the Reserve Bank of India overnight. They were expected to cut interest rates, but they were only expected to cut by 25 basis points, and it ended up being a 50 basis point cut. One stock based in India, an ADR that's benefiting on that news. Let's take a look at shares of Tata Motors, car maker in India. It is up 1.5% today to 29.29, and you can see just some tight sideways movement here. This stock could be on the verge of a breakout from a nice base here, so definitely under some accumulation lately, and a pretty good stock in terms of fundamentals and technicals. So shares of Tata Motors doing pretty well today. Checking in on oil, up 1.2% today to 104.20 a barrel. Gold up, but not by much, up 0.1% to $1,651.10 an ounce. Let's check in on the GLD, the Spider Gold Trust, an ETF that at 1/10 the price of an ounce of gold bullion. The GLD right now is down 14 cents to $160.32. Dollar is weak today, but not by much, really. It's only down about 7 ticks to 79.48. That's the U.S. dollar index. We can also check in on the UUP, which is an ETF that is comprised of a bunch of long U.S. dollar contracts. The UUP is down 3 cents to 22.04. And as you can see, it just it can't get out of its own way here. It tried to rally in early February, tried to rally in early March, tried to rally again right here, and is just not making any progress. So market wants a weak dollar. Dollar's really not showing me any signs that it wants to head meaningfully higher here. Talking about some earnings reports, let's check in on Goldman Sachs. That's a high-profile financial that reported earnings earlier today. Stock not doing great. It's underperforming, down 1% to 116.52. So shares of Goldman Sachs under pressure today, trading near its session low. Actually, volume very heavy in the stock. Profit at Goldman fell 11% from a year ago to $3.92 a share. That was above estimates. Sales down 14% to $11.8 billion. Company also raised its dividend by 31% to 46 cents a share. I think I read somewhere that's only the company's third dividend increase since the bank went public in 1999. So shares of Goldman under pressure today. Let's take a look at a really solid bank here. I don't have any financial exposure in my model portfolio at this point, but shares of U.S. Bancorp, really nice earnings report from this company, and a really nice technical setup here as well. U.S. Bancorp up 1.4% today to $31.59. Earnings there up 34% from a year ago to 67 cents a share. Company delivered another quarter of sequential accelerating sales growth. Sales overall were up 7% to nearly $5.5 billion. But U.S. Bancorp, very strong stock here. Good supporting action at its 50-day moving average, not far from a high. Stock seems very well supported up here. U.S. Bancorp, the ticker USB on the New York Stock Exchange. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. As usual, you're listening to Breakout Investing on TFNN. We'll be right back.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've always thought about trying out his newsletter, Market Insights. Well, now is the perfect time. For a limited time only, when you sign up for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights, we'll send you a free copy of Tom O'Brien's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. If you decide to cancel within the 2-week trial period, pay absolutely nothing and keep Tom's book as a free gift from us. Tom sends out his daily newsletter each morning by 9:30 a.m. with trade recommendations, including price targets and price stops. As recently as March 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out a position for more than a 25% profit in just over 2 weeks. To get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights, along with your free copy of The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Supplies are limited for this one-of-a-kind special, so act today and don't let this opportunity pass you by. Offer only valid for new subscribers.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by Direction Shares. To learn more about tactical tools for the sophisticated active investor, hit the Direction Shares banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Breakout Investing on TFNN. Before we went to break, talking about strong earnings from U.S. Bancorp, stock technically acting very well today. Let's also check in on the XLF. This is an ETF that holds a basket of financial stocks. It is doing pretty well today, up 1.5%, 1.5% to 1548, firming up at its 50-day moving average, so no real signs of a technical breakdown here. Could see some resistance at that 1559 price level, which is where its 20-day moving average is at, but the financial select sector spider fund acting pretty well today and showing good supporting action at its 50-day moving average. Top holdings in that fund are Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, Bank of America. I believe is it JP Morgan that's coming out with earnings? I see Bank of America is coming out Thursday, so that's in the top 5 holdings of the XLF. All right. Also checking on earnings from WW Grainger. That's ticker GWW. W.W. Grainger. This is a company that basically they sell maintenance, repair, operating supplies to large businesses and institutions. The numbers were pretty good at Grainger. This is a company with a great track record of growth and has certainly been a very strong price performer in the market. The stock hit an intraday low of $210 a share. It has rallied back. It is now up near its session high, up only 6 cents to $215.65, but another stock showing good supporting action at its 50-day moving average. Earnings up 18% from a year ago to $2.57 a share. Sales up 16% to nearly $2.2 billion. That's the second straight quarter of accelerating sales growth at Grainger. So stock has recovered nicely in big volume after early weakness. Let's check in on shares of Stratasys. Stratasys gapped up sharply yesterday. This is a company that's involved in 3D printing. You can see the stock's big gap up in price yesterday. It did finish near its session low, but still a nice percentage gain yesterday. News here is that the company is merging with Israeli 3D printer maker Objet, or Objet. I'm not sure the pronunciation. O-B-J-E-T. Objet. Anyway, Stratasys is merging with Objet. That fueled a nice gain in another 3D printer maker called 3D Systems, ticker DDD. And 3D Systems had a big day yesterday. It's following through nicely today in heavy volume, up almost 6% today to 27.79. But nice technical breakout for 3D Systems on that news of a merger between Stratasys and Israeli 3D printer maker Objet. All right, checking in on some other gainers today. A lot of good action in the market today. Volume at last check was still tracking lower than what we saw on Monday on the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. Percentage gains today are close to qualifying for a follow-through day on the fifth day of a rally attempt for the Dow and the S&P 500, but the volume doesn't look like it's going to be there. So we're going to have to pay attention to that. And anytime the market confirms a new uptrend, it should be unequivocal. It should be with conviction. So. And again, with the NASDAQ, we're only looking at day one of a rally attempt for the NASDAQ. So the earliest the NASDAQ could follow through at this point would be this coming Friday. But for the Dow and S&P 500, we're 5 days into a rally attempt for both indices. So again, we'll just have to see how things shake out by the close here. Let's take a look at shares of SourceFire today. This is a very interesting company, network security software and hardware. Very strong technical picture headed into today. It is outperforming nicely, up 3.6% to $50.39. Earnings are due April 30th from this company. They're expected to be up 100% to 8 cents a share, with sales up 35% to $41.6 million. But SourceFire is a company with a lot of positive qualities, no doubt about it. Expected to grow annual earnings by 25% over the next couple of years. Technically strong. It's a small cap stock, market cap of $1.5 billion, but sales growth has been accelerating in recent quarters, and this company's products continue to enjoy strong demand. The issue right now, I've mentioned this in recent shows, is that when the market is in a downtrend, and I know that sounds weird saying that when you have big percentage gains for the market today, but the market needs to prove itself. The market needs to flash a big percentage gain in higher volume. There's got to be some conviction behind the buying, and until that happens, it's still a risky environment to be buying, strong price performers like SourceFire. And plus, volume in SourceFire today is not huge to the upside. So even though we're seeing a lot of good movers in growth stocks, names like Apple, Priceline, for example, that we talked about earlier, volume is slightly above average in those names, but doesn't really compare to the downside volume that Apple and Priceline showed late last week and early this week. But SourceFire that we're looking at here, outperforming nicely. Volume does not look to be that heavy to the upside, but still a stock with several positive qualities. Let's also take a look at TransDigm Group. This is ticker TDG. It makes parts, supplies parts to the aerospace industry. Still a pretty good industry group in the market. TransDigm Group is ticker TDG. It is up 2% today to 119.32. TransDigm Group could be on the verge of breaking out over a swing point of 121.48. That would be its high set back here in February. You could also put a swing point right here at 118.21. And in this case, the stock could be viable here. You could call it a base breakout. Volume looks to be okay in the stock. Nothing overwhelmingly large in terms of volume, but TransDigm Group is in a good technical setup here. Good fundamentals here as well. Would be good to see a little more institutional buying in this stock. I mean, it'd be good to see institutional buying in the major averages. More of it from here. Be good to see institutional buying in growth stocks as well. So TransDigm would benefit from more heavier volume price increases. Earnings aren't no earnings date confirmed yet for TDG, but it should be around May 10th. Big growth here as well. Earnings up 47% to $1.43 a share. Sales should be up about 23% to $384.3 million. So TransDigm Group acting well today, could be on the verge of a breakout. Remember when we talk about heavy volume at a breakout, when a stock tries to break out from a consolidation or a proper base, you want to see volume heavy at the breakout. That's been hard to find by and large in recent weeks. But when I'm talking about heavy breakout, so for a company like TransDigm Group that normally trades about 425,000 shares a day, if it's really a strong breakout, volume should be at that level 1 or 2 hours into the trading day. Okay, so TransDigm Group trading, 424,000 shares on a full day. If you can see volume at 400,000 1 to 2 hours into the session, that's what I'm talking about by heavy volume. Right now, TransDigm Group has only traded about 286,000 shares, so volume looks like it's going to be coming in pretty close to average today. But anytime a stock tries to make a move and flex its muscle and break out over resistance, the heavier the volume, the better. All right, so that's TransDigm Group. Under Armour, also very interesting here ahead of earnings on Friday. Nice technical setup for Under Armour. I think there's a good chance we'll see a big quarter from Under Armour, the ticker UA on the New York Stock Exchange. Stock is up 1.6% today to 96.61, showing resilience, holding near highs, really not much in the way of selling in Under Armour. Again, earnings due this Friday. Profit growth is really expected to slow down quite a bit from what it has reported in prior quarters. Profit only expected to be up 4% to 24 cents a share. Probably just an anomaly. Sales pretty impressive, still up 22% to $380 million. So be listening to what Under Armour has to say on Friday. And shares of Tosco. Boy, I mean, this company recently announced preliminary first quarter earnings that were well ahead of expectations. You can see the big move the stock made on Thursday last week. It gapped up in price. Just so impressed with how the stock is holding on to its gains. Another stock that's just really, there are no sellers around. And the thing is, does that make it buyable here? I still think Tractor Supply is still extended. So even though it's a stock that has a lot of qualities I like to see, and it is very, very strong technically, it is extended in price. But Tractor Supply operates retail farm and ranch stores in the U.S. Again, preliminary first quarter earnings announced last week, well ahead of expectations. And it forecasts same-store sales growth of about 11.5% in the first quarter. So their earnings are due April 25th. I think the market already has a pretty good idea, based on what the company said late last week, that the numbers are going to be pretty strong. So a lot of good stories in retail still. I have fairly significant exposure to the retail sector in my Ultimate Growth Stocks model portfolio, and the reason that is because basically the market is telling me to have exposure to the retail sector. So and I'm just going to keep it where it is for now, and we'll see how it goes. Also want to take a look at shares of Yandex, YNDX. Yandex, NASDAQ-listed company, but it is based in Russia. Yandex is a Russian provider of internet search services. Think Baidu in China. Think Google in the U.S. That's what Yandex does in Russia. Very, very strong growth story here. This is an interesting company that's got a fair amount of institutional sponsorship. Pretty strong on a lot of different metrics. Return on equity very high at 32%. Earnings are due April 26th, and earnings this year and next year are expected to grow in that 45% range. So very good growth story going on at Yandex, and the stock is up 2.2% today to 27.04. It is trading near its session low, so less than ideal price action, but a stock that continues to show relative price strength, holding above support. I think there's a good chance we could see a good quarter from Yandex when it reports later this month as well. And let's check in on VCLK here. This is a stock I've mentioned sporadically on the show. ValueClick outperforming nicely today. Good supporting action. It is up 4.7% to $21.14. ValueClick, they provide online advertising campaigns and programs to direct marketers and other small cap stock here, but technically very, very strong here. It's been basing, firming up at its 50-day moving average recently. The swing point is 21.50. So again, this is a stock where if you can get a heavy volume breakout over that swing point, shares might be worth a little nibble. You never want to start with a huge position and be too top heavy from the start. So you want to start small. If it works and the stock acts right after buying, you can always add to the position and scale into it further, but I think there's a chance here you could see a move over 21.50 for ValueClick, another stock with pretty strong fundamentals, but like a lot of other stocks, it would benefit from more above average volume price gains. Volume in the stock looks to be pretty decent today, higher than yesterday, but it may come in slightly above average, but good day nonetheless for ValueClick. Let's check in on F5 Networks as well. F5 Networks, issue here is that it's stuck underneath its 50-day moving average. We're talking about a lot of stocks and indices firming up at this key support level. F5 gapped below its 50-day moving average. It's moving sideways, but it doesn't look like it's making any attempt to rally meaningfully above that line. It reports earnings on Wednesday. Profit is expected to be up 22%. From a year ago to $1.07 a share, sales up 21% to $335.3 million. So F5 right now is a damaged stock. It's a damaged stock that is showing some signs of distribution, not prominent, but it really got pulled down when the market, when the NASDAQ came down, NASDAQ 100 came down, F5 came down hard with it, but it is stuck below its 50-day moving average, which for now is a sign of weakness. So we'll see what the company has to say Wednesday when they report results. Some stocks not participating today, some former growth names. Here's a former holding in my Ultimate Growth Stocks model portfolio. I took profits in Buffalo Wild Wings not that long ago, but stock continues to underperform here. Broke below its 50-day moving average. It is underperforming again today, down 40 cents, 0.5% to 83.96. Looks like it's ready to base for a while. And if it goes on to form a proper base, I may consider getting back into this popular restaurant chain. But I was happy to take a gain, preserve profits, and so we'll see what happens with Buffalo Wild Wings. Starbucks also under some pressure today. SBUX, huge price gainer, probably just a little bit of profit taking. Starbucks down 1.6% today to 58.70. Took a hit in heavy volume yesterday, and volume is heavy again today. Stick with us, folks. We'll be right back. Breakout Investing on TFNN.
In the world of financial markets, there's a new player in town with an exciting new way to trade the markets. Nadex now offers binary options as well as bull spreads in a wide range of indices along with commodity and forex markets. With as little as $100, you can gain access to a new way to trade global financial markets while guaranteeing that your risk will always be capped. Nadex allows you to multiply your trading opportunities in ways never imagined before and access markets you once thought were out of reach. With short-term trading opportunities available, including binary options expiring each hour the market is open, Nadex allows you to take advantage of a variety of market conditions regardless of volatility or market direction. Now is the time to take advantage of this exciting new market. Don't let this trading opportunity pass you by. Open your account today by clicking on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Nadex, a better way to trade.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Hi folks, turns out my best student became my best teacher. Steve Rhodes absolutely raised my standards, and I'll guarantee he'll raise yours.
Thanks, Tom. What I've learned is that if you want more, you must become more, and that transformation, folks, that occurs the moment you decide to become a master. Now, the quickest way to mastery is through immersion, and for 2 solid days in Denver, Boston, and Tampa, I'll create a new standard of wealth for those few trader investors who have a burning desire to succeed. At my Master Trader course, I'll teach you how to create the ultimate money machine. These are the best-kept secrets in the business. Roadblocks, folks. Dabblers give up when they first appear. Stressors last just a little bit longer, but masters expect roadblocks and achieve extraordinary results when they bust right through them. I have all the benefit of knowing the type of wealth creation that I can generate for you. You don't. That's why I'm making this unconditional money-back guarantee. If for any reason you're not satisfied with my Master Trader course, I'll refund every penny. That's right. I take all the risk, and you get all the benefit. Go to the homepage at TFNN.com and sign up today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the opening call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his opening call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his opening call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the opening call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. Catch Tom O'Brien, founder and CEO of TFNN, professional trader and educator. Also a special guest on CNBC, analyzing the commodity markets. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Market holding up just fine as we head into the close. 5 minutes left to go in Tuesday's session. The Dow up 203 points, 1.6% to 13,124. NASDAQ up close to 60 points, call it 2% to 3,048. And the S&P 500 also doing well, up 22 points, 1.6% to 1391. Mentioned strength in the retail sector. Here's another retailer that is performing well today. Shares of Genesco, that's ticker GCO on the New York Stock Exchange, up 2.4% today to $74.96. This one looks like it wants to move over that $75 price level. Genesco operates some more than 2,000 stores around the country, footwear, sports apparel, accessories, outstanding growth prospects here. Its earnings aren't due for a while because it reported earnings just last month in March, but at the time when it reported in March, profit was up 48% from a year ago to $1.97. Sales growth up 29% to just over $720 million. So a company that continues to execute quite nicely. Volume pretty strong in the stock today. Genesco normally trades about 290,000 shares a day. Volume right now around 350,000. So not a huge volume increase, but definitely some heightened interest in the stock today. So shares of Genesco acting well here. All right, I mentioned some busy week of earnings. We've got a slew of earnings reports after the close today. Dow Components, IBM, and Intel. Let's check in on IBM one more time as we head into the close here. Shares of IBM right up at its session high, up 2.3% to 207.30. Probably some optimism about its first quarter earnings report. Earnings expected to be up 10% to $2.64 a share. Sales up close to 1%, mostly flat from a year ago, but sales up close to 1% to $24.77 billion. Take a look at shares of Intel. Again, IBM and Intel, just two strong performing stocks in the Dow, but Dow has a lot of other strong price performers in there as well. But here's a look at Intel. Continues to hit new highs ahead of its earnings report. It's up 0.6% today to $28.58. Intel profit is expected to decline 11% from a year ago to 50 cents a share. Sales flat from a year ago to $12.84 billion. Intel making inroads in the mobile market, and we'll see. We'll get an update from the company in terms of how it's doing in its push into mobile markets. Also going to listen closely to what Intuitive Surgical has to say. Another NASDAQ 100 firm that continues to hold up very well here. Problem with Intuitive Surgical, you're probably going to see a good bottom line and top line beat. This is a company that has made it a habit of beating estimates, earnings estimates, by a wide margin when it reports. I don't expect anything different this time around, but it is extended after a recent breakout over $474.50 a share. Intuitive Surgical right now is trading around $546, $546.55, up 1% today ahead of the results. Earnings should be up 21% from a year ago to $314 a share. Sales up 20% to $464.7 million. Of course, Intuitive Surgical makes the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. We'll see what this company has to say after the close. And finally, let's check in on URI. These leasing companies, heavy equipment leasing companies. URI up 1.6% ahead of its earnings report after the close. Shares recently trading around $40.95. It's been in pullback mode. A lot of good news priced in quickly here, so we'll see what United Rentals has to say after the close. Coming up next, the Tom O'Brien Show, 4 to 6 Eastern on TFNN. I'll be back with another edition of Breakout Investing Thursday, 3 to 4 Eastern. Take care, everyone.